Hello, my name is Michael Bone and I'm the founder at ZA Homes. ZA Homes buys properties from sellers like yourself who need a quick sale and an outside the box kind of thinking. We aren't agents, we buy the actual property. With your permission, I'd like to tell you Sibangile's story as a way to highlight what it is we can do and the lens we'll go to help people. Sibongile's business was not doing too well, and a business landlord had locked her out due to non-payment. In addition, her residential property where she was living was behind on payments by a number of months, and she was heading towards an eviction. Chuan had cut her electricity, and in addition, she'd taken out a loan shark in money on her actual car. When the time came that she couldn't pay that loan shark and company, they of course took her car. She now sat with no car, nowhere to get to work, nowhere to enter work even if she could, no electricity at home, no water, rise in bills, and was about to be evicted. It wasn't in a good situation. And here's what we did. First thing I did was call the landlord and I said, okay, fine, we're about to buy her property. I'm going to make cash available very soon. So here's the OTP that we put down on the property. Here's the bond application. Here's my personal banker's details. Here it's gone through to the originator and the conveyancer. You can see we're going through. Please allow me a bit of time. In order to help you, what I need to do is persuade him, which I did, to say, let's give her tools back, let's give her materials back, let her work from the house, and get her out of the property. That way, you could rent that property out and start making money again. She could start earning money in which to back pay you. And when we did actually get all that figured out at the end, we could actually pay out of the proceeds of the sale. So she did just that. She collected her stuff, she went home and she set it up in the back room, instantly cutting her costs out of an office and all the expenses out of it. Problem number one solved. I then spoke to her and said, okay, fine, why isn't your mother living with you? She's struggling to pay rent in where she is. Why don't we move her in with you? Which is what we did. We lowered her mother's rent with a bigger property from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom property, and we got the family closer together. We're heading in the right direction now. Problem number 2 solved. More money coming into the home. Next, I spoke to the existing property owner. Now, Sibongile had bought this property on an installment sale direct from the owner, which means there was no bank involved, fortunately, in this case. She was owed a large amount of money, going back almost 6 months of payments hadn't been done. She was on her last wit. She was not a happy person. All she wanted was her money. I did the same thing, showed her the evidence. Here's the OTP, here's the bond application, here's my personal banker's detail. I will settle everything with you within a very short amount of time. And I got her to agree. Problem number 3 solved. Problem number 4. Tshwane municipality is not the easiest of people to deal with. So I called up Tshwane. After a few hours of back and forth, I agreed with them. Anything over 60 days, I would pay off. Anything under 60 days will be done by a settlement plan. It took a bit of convincing, but we got there. And they said, fine, you can pay it off over a number of terms of time. Problem number 4 solved. Loan shark. This is something I'd never encountered before. They were all accounts a registered company, but they weren't exactly legit in the way they worked, if you know what I mean. Their interest rates were beyond ridiculous. Their approach was, you pay now, and polite and friendly. It wasn't just something they knew how to talk about. Payment plans, not interested. In fact, having a conversation with them, not interested. It was either full payment now or the car gets sold now and you lose everything. I needed Sibangile's car back, but I couldn't just pay off a car and have no security tied to it. What happened if something fell through? I would lose 40,000 Rand. So what I said to her was, fine, sell the car to me as a loan. I'll pay that amount back, and when we sell the property, you then get to use the price of the sale to pay me back the 40,000. I'm paying the loan shark. We did this. It worked out great. I got her an Uber. She went there. She picked up the car. Back she went. You've solved the problem now of number 5. That's 5 problems you've solved. Now, it's 5 down and the 6th one then came in. We solved all of these problems for her, putting up lumps of some money even forward. But if we sold the property, where would she live? She's just moved her mother in to help cover some of the costs. Her business has now been set up in the back room. Her kids went to school around the corner. We couldn't just kick her out. So I said to her, okay, fine, let's make an agreement. From the proceeds of the sale, you'll pay me 1 year in advance the whole rental. So when it's sold, the money came to me to ensure that I'd actually had that paid for the whole year. But more importantly, she got a 1-year lease agreement signed up ahead of time to get herself to get a little bit more settled. It allowed her time to start rebuilding. And that's exactly what happened. The sale went through, and from the prices of the sale, she managed to pay me back for the car loan. the whole year's rent up front, the Tshwane municipality fees that I'd paid, as well as the municipality fees she still had to pay, as well as the landlord's back rental. So she's now got no debt. She has no bond payments. She doesn't have a business premises to pay rent on. She has her own place to live. She has a car. She has electricity. She's got some money from the sale. And her only cost for the next year is basically going to be water and electricity, along with day-to-day living costs. We're now a year later. Everything's passed. She's been a great tenant. She's now wanted to sign on for another year. Her business is slowly rebuilding. It has been a little bit tough during these COVID times. But I can't imagine, and she can't imagine, what it wouldn't have been like if we hadn't stepped in. Other sellers that arrived and gone, there's too many complications with this. How are we ever going to get these people out if they decide not to? How are we going to get the electricity for Tshwane paid? Who's going to pay that? Who's going to pay the agency fee? All of the stuff had come up with her, and we just came up with solutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just help the person out. I hope that helps to demonstrate what lengths we'll actually go to help people in these situations. We've been there ourselves, and it's just one example of what we'll do. I hope this helps you.